What's good, everybody? Welcome to Karu the Mentor Presents Life Lessons, where wisdom meets real life and every lesson helps you grow stronger, wiser, and better. I am your host, Karu the Mentor. Like, share, comment, subscribe to my new YouTube channel. We get to pop it over here. Get down in those comments, because I do be in them comments. And also, give me a few likes, man. That's free. Liking the video gets us in the algorithm and stuff to put this information out. Speaking of that, stand by. I got some stuff coming up. Me and my team have been working, trying to put together something for as far as mentoring these kids, man. Just be on the lookout. I will be announcing that soon. So I'm excited. I'm elated. Whatever other excitement word we can use to describe how excited I am that I'm doing that, because this is something I've been trying to do for 10 years and I got the opportunity to do it now. So that's going to be coming up soon. So be on the lookout for that. But hey, man, like, share, comment, subscribe, man. Put them likes down in the on the video, man. It helps the algorithm. So this is a full debate between a man and a woman, and there's definitely we have to come together. We got to find some middle ground, men and women, particularly black men and black women. We have to come together some way, somehow, because this thing that's going on between us is tearing us apart. And I think, in my opinion, as I'm watching these videos, because I did watch this video before I comment on the video, but with this video, what I realized is the fact that, the way that men talk to each other, we definitely put the blame. If it's your fault, we tell you it's your fault. There's really no way around it. We definitely tell you it's your fault. And I think we say that because we tried to get to the solution and say, okay, this is what you did, this is what's going on, and this is how you fix it. And that is a true mentor's way. Going around and trying to be more gentler and all that, that doesn't really work. If for those in the military, at some point it gets to a point where people don't respect you as much because you don't be as honest and real and pointing out who did what in what situation to get to the solution. And I think that's the difference between men and women. Women try to find a better way of saying stuff instead of just saying it when it comes to them. Now, normally when it comes to women, though, they kind of, if they got to tell a man something, they just tell you how it is. They don't really care how you feel because it's the truth. But when you talk back to them, they're not really equipped to really take that accountability at that moment. They may do it later, but at that moment, they're definitely going to buck. And this is what we're going to see here a little bit. First, I want to say, first, shout out to the real Stacy Prince. Go over to his YouTube channel, man. He's doing good things, man. He talks about a lot of things that I like. Shout out to him and his channel. But I just want to let you know, there's going to be a little vulgar. Might be a couple of N-words and a couple of curses. But the information is real and it's raw and it's authentic. I feel like Arsenal, the rapper Arsenal. But anyway, but it's true. But, so what we're going to do, we're going to play the video. I'm going to start the video sometimes. I'm gonna try to play a lot of points because he says so many points. It's like fact after fact after fact. I won't get into every single one of them, but just the ones that I think I should point out. Because if I go into every one of them, we'll be at 2 hours. Because he says some real deal Holyfield stuff, and I really appreciate people talking about this stuff, because this is the only way we're gonna start to get to where we need to be at as a community. So. So we're going to go ahead on and let's get it.
Only demographic of women running around talking about independent, don't need a man. No other community of people believes that, because in other communities, you think they don't have issues where the man is down on his luck? and the woman has to build him up. You think in other communities, the white community, the Asian community, the Latino community, you think that they don't have situations where he needed $7,000 from her income tax for this invention? And that has happened 3 times and it didn't work. Our women, they don't even know you're supposed to do that. They'll get on social media talking about, gave this nigga X amount of money and this idea didn't work. Usually it won't work the first, second, or third time, but that's why they succeed and excel over us, because their women aren't pit against their men. What you guys have done is you've done so many bad things to where your value is very, very low. So most quality men aren't going to come into a relationship like that. And if you disagree, I'm going to ask you a question. You have kids?
I do.
You have a boy, don't you?
I don't.
Okay, you do now. That boy comes to you at 19 years old. You have been going nuts about this college tuition. I'm talking about you've been working 2 jobs. Google wants him. Microsoft wants. This boy is excelling. He comes home to you one day and says, I wasn't going to tell you this, Mom, but there's a girl. She has 2 or 3 kids by 2 or 3 different men, and I'm thinking about getting serious. Would you encourage him and tell him, I think that's a good idea, son?
My honest answer, I will let my son do whatever he wants to do.
I'm asking.
Bullshit. Why is she lying? Why is she lying? She is not going to let yo. So I've dated women and I brought them to my mom. And when I did that, she automatically just told me this ain't it. If because what people gotta understand is, and this is a hard pill to swallow. It's gonna be hard. Women, the kids that you have, although they're blessings to you, they are a liability to him. Now that sucks. It is true. But it's true. It's true. It's a liability. He can't take you nowhere unless he makes sure that you got a babysitter for the kid. He can't do nothing with you. He can't stay the night. Y'all can't do, because you got to make sure of the that you have somebody to watch him overnight. Like those things you can't do it like when you want to. And that's what makes the woman with no kids more attractive. Then on top of that, we now have to somehow father that kid. And you are looking forward to us fathering that kid. You can say that you don't. You can say that, oh, you're not, I don't need you to do anything for him, this, that, and third. You're going to be late one day picking him up. And you're going to have to go pick the child up, the boyfriend or whatever. You're going to have to go someplace and you're going to have to run out and you're going to have to watch the kid while your girl go out or whatever. And it's the same thing for men too, don't get me wrong. The only difference is that normally the thing is that the child normally stays with the mother for the men. And that is just the way it goes. Why? Because of our court system, they're not looking at it. They're starting to now, but at first they're not looking at it like, oh well, the father could do just a good job like the mother. So the mother is the one that's gonna be taking on that responsibility. This is why I'm saying you shouldn't open your womb to. It's not wise, and this is no judgment, all right? Because like I said, have 2 kids outside of my marriage, before my marriage, not outside my marriage, but before my marriage. And I understand that I destroyed 2 families. I understand that. So this is no judgment here. And I understand what's going on. However, at the end of the day, the kids are not an asset to him. It's actually a liability. Because I'm going to tell you, I done seen people go through things with the other kids with the kids of the you dating the mother and you going through with the daughter and all that. It is not fun. I'm telling you, I've seen it myself. It's not fun. It's not fun. Not fun. And it almost makes it to the point where you don't even want to be with the person no more. You start to feel like that. So this is a very she wouldn't allow her son to say, I'm gonna marry a girl with 3 kids. I don't have no kids, but I got a $250,000 job. She's not gonna allow that, and she knows it. But instead of her just being honest, she will be at the end. But the point is the fact that she knows she's not gonna allow that to happen. And a lot of times they know that that is not a good look. But whatever. We'll see. We'll see.
In your opinion, ma'am, would you tell him you believe that's a good idea?
If he thinks that's what he wants to do, it's a good idea.
If your son came to you and told you, Mom, they're doing it at school. I don't know if it's coke or what, but they're sniffing it, and I'm really thinking about sniffing some. Would you tell him you think that's a good idea?
We're talking about two different things.
I'm just asking you a question, ma'am. I'm hoping that you'll answer. It's simple questions, really.
Things, no.
So you wouldn't tell him you think that's a good idea? Your life, listen, who you end up with is the most important decision that you could ever make.
Yes. Yes. That is the most important. The most important. Listen. And I think I didn't understand that growing up. I just thought, I have a girlfriend. This is my girlfriend. And this, that. You got to be very selective on who you pick to be with. Because I'm going to tell you something. All this vanity stuff, girls with the fat booties and the nice breasts and all that, they can have all that. But if they attitudes suck, it's not going to matter. They will become ugly to you. And I'm talking to the men particularly. To the women, he can have all the abs. He can have the 6-pack. He could be 6'6" and 6. Yeah, if you know, you know. He could have all that and everything. But if he has a crappy attitude and he can't lead you, he will be ugly to you. And you may miss the 6, but you'll be like, I could do better by myself. You gotta be more selective in who you pick to open your legs to. Men have to be more selective, disciplined. They gotta be more disciplined, because I just believe that every time it's always the same thing, that at first you start with condoms and then you stop. Like it's like a thing. And you know what? We don't have any tonight, and we're gonna do it like this, and we're gonna do the pull-out game. It don't work, bro. And we're not even talking about STDs or anything like that. We're not even talking about that, because that is a big thing too. However, just kids, bro. And this is a real situation that is really going on right now. And yeah.
So you'll tell him not to try this recreational thing, but you won't tell him who the hell is going to be having him on child support, have his driver's license suspended, who's going to be cheating on him.
And that these things destroy men. I always say, when you have a child out of wedlock, it stunts your growth for 18 plus years. I myself wasn't able to secure a good enough house, to secure a good enough job for 20 years. For 20 years. I did have my house, I lost it. I'm telling you, this thing stunts your growth. You have to be selective. Was it $150,000? Gone. $150,000, bro. That's a lot of money. If I would have took that money and put it in some sort of CD or an account, I'll probably have $400,000 or $500,000 right now. Who knows? $1,200 a month. 2 kids. This is not for the faint of heart, I'm telling you. And still somewhat doing it now. This is not a game. Not a game at all. Playing these games, you play, what is that? You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. This is one of them. Not the fact that you don't have kids, it's just having kids out of wedlock.
Let me
You
tell
won't
you
give him
something.
advice about that?
When it comes, and this is coming from the therapeutic side of me. I don't go up against anybody and who they love.
Your son? You're not
I
going to
do.
give your son guidance? And I'm going to
I
be
do.
honest with you, ma'am. This is where we all, there's 200 people in here.
I
We
did
all
say
know
that.
that you're being disingenuous and dishonest right now. We
I
know that
would-
for a fact.
You're asking me what
As a matter of fact, I want to add to that. As a matter of fact, she's going to screen her son's girlfriends. If she doesn't have a son, and she's going to screen them. Because that's what my mother did. She sure enough did. She screened them. And for me, and I'm gonna say this, and I mean this. I think my mother and one of my girlfriends. I think my mother saw herself when she was young, and the mistakes that she made, and she said, "This you can't be with her," and she made it so that I could not be with her. I'm telling you, this is how I know she's being disingenuous, because she know that she would screen her son's girlfriends. However, what I will give her is the fact that she says she don't have any sons. So I'll give her that. However, I know for a fact, and here's the thing, men understand women more than women understand men. Men understand women sometimes more than women understand women. Sometimes. Because we deal with them more on a consistent basis. We have to know these things. We have to study women. Women don't have to study each other because they're not getting anything from them. Men have to study women. We have to know the cues. We have to. If we don't, we get it wrong, we going to jail. We could possibly go to jail. You understand what I'm saying? We have to know these things because this is how we have to learn how to talk women. I'm telling you. And a lot of people don't understand that. Normally, men understand women more than women understand women because we trying to get something from them. Other women are not trying to get anything from them.
I tell my son.
No, ma'am. I said, would you encourage him to proceed on with that? Would you say, I think that's a good idea?
Listen, if that's what he wants to do, we're going to talk about it. I'm going to support that, however that looks. But no, I mean, that's just my point.
I'm going to ask you again. Would you encourage your son?
A certain amount of ways. I'm telling you. If let's use my daughter for example. If she come home and says,
"Ma'am, I'm just trying to get you to answer my question, not the daughter. I'm trying to. Let's have an adult conversation."
Yeah, I would.
Okay, so somebody down there says she's a bad parent. You're telling us, do you know how much it costs to raise one child from the age of conception to the age of 18? It's a little over $300,000.
Many parents go up against their kids for who they love instead of having certain conversations with them.
Man, we didn't say anything about love. We didn't say anything about love.
She's moving the goalpost.
And you're having conversations with them. Half of the people on this screen probably rebelled against their parents for something they wanted to do.
It doesn't matter. At least the parent knows that they they did all they could and gave the best advice that they could.
I'm not suggesting a thing, but we're going to have conversations.
But there's going to be guys. I'm really trying to get you to cooperate with me. Like, listen, you're a grown woman. You're a grown woman. I am asking you a very elementary question.
I just said, yeah, I'm going to give you that. Yes. I'm saying yes to what you're saying. Encourage him not to. So let's talk about from that framework.
Okay. Hold on. I want you to listen to this. And hold on, don't say anything. I want you to listen. What you just told me was that black men, probably it wouldn't be in their best interest to date 70% of the women in the black community. So that's what we're dealing with, sweetie.
Bomb drop right there. Bomb drop right there. That's what you just said. And it's true. It's true. Now, I'm gonna say this knowing that I've been with women where they did have kids, and not all of them were bad. In fact, my wife had a kid before me, and we're good. But what she just said, what he just said to her, was definitely true. 70%. That is scary. Now, I want to talk about that for a second because there was a time when men accepted other people's kids. There was a time. There was a time when when men was like, you know what, I love her enough that I will accept that. And we didn't look at them as baggage we didn't look at them as liabilities at the time. I don't like to say baggage. We didn't look at them as liabilities at the time. But you know what happened? And I keep going back to this. COVID happened. And all y'all women got up on Beyonce's internet. Y'all was talking cash money garbage. Y'all was talking a lot of garbage. And like I always say, men kind of knew what y'all was saying. We already knew, but we kind of ignored it because it was like, all right, whatever. We know it, whatever, because we knew. But like, whatever. Whatever. But then after a while, when you guys got up on Beyonce's internet and y'all started saying that stuff, I don't know why I keep calling it Beyonce's internet. But anyway, when y'all got up on these internet platforms and y'all was saying this stuff and y'all was teaching other women how to manipulate men, that had to stop. Every time I went out, when I was dating, I always paid. It was never an issue. If I invited you out, I paid. Even if you invited me out, I paid. Or at least for the first dates. You know what I'm saying? It was what it was. So this is why this is why it is the way it is right now. What you are getting is a response from men that men are not going to tolerate. They're not going to have you make a mockery of the hard work that they have done to be where they're at right now, and then have you come and say we're trash and we're dusties and all this. Nah, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that. And I believe a lot of men thought some women were dusties, but never said anything out of respect. Out of respect, never called you a dusty in front of your face, nothing, knowing you was dusty, for real. And I believe that. And when I was dating women that had kids, just because it was in me, I automatically became the authoritative figure in that relationship. So much so, I was more strict on the child than she was. Almost every time. So, men are needed, man. Y'all are not going to get men to accept the mistakes. I don't want to call them mistakes. I don't want to call it that. The way you guys are going, you're not going to get men to accept the liabilities you created, because they don't have to be there. Men don't have to be there. They can go find other women. And you're seeing that it's becoming more and more prevalent in relationships where men are leaving black women and going to other races. Now, a small percentage now, don't get me wrong, because I think it's like 80% of black men are still marrying black women. Don't get it twisted. But more and more and more, little by little, you guys are losing. It's already 1 in 4 black women are going to get married. 1 in 4. And most women don't want to share men. So something got to give. You know? I think we should just come to the table. Y'all should give up some stuff. Like, hey, you know what? We'll go ahead on and we'll say, hey, we'll go ahead on and we'll start advocating for a paternity test. And when you got, if we stay married to you a certain amount of time, we deserve this amount and this amount and this amount. And y'all go from there. I mean, there's got to be some sort of compromise here. Because you're not going to get what y'all want. Because what's going to eventually happen, And I was thinking about this the other day. If women stop having kids, because there is a downturn on kids. We're having less and less kids. These younger generations are not having kids as much as before. So it's a downturn on having kids, right? If women stop having kids, men are going to stop helping you on the side of the road. They're going to stop. You know why? Because when men help women, we are thinking about, hey, if my wife is on the side of the road, I want somebody to help her if I can't be there. Or if my daughter's on the side of the road, I'm going to help you in hopes that you will help, somebody will help my daughter. Because that's what men think about when they're helping on the side of the road. There's plenty of times I did that. I saw a female on the side of the road. I knew she didn't know how to change the tire. One time I was dressed up going to a meeting, and I had all my good clothes on, and I was on the side of the road changing the tire, helping that lady out. If you guys stop doing that, the strings that y'all do have where men is actually coming and stepping up and trying to fill in those gaps, whether it be for that hour or two to help you out, they are going to disappear. Think about that for a second.
I want you to see this. I want to see your side, and I also desire you see our side. That is a tough damn pill to swallow. A lot of guys, dads are telling, don't you mess with no women with no kids. But yet we have to deal with that at a 70-something% rate. This is what I'm telling you. You guys have dug a hole that is hard for you to get out of. It's very tough because men don't want that. Listen, let's be adults here. Let's go. Turbulence, people. You guys know, if you're familiar with the show, when you hear that, I'm about to rock the boat a little bit. When we are on top of you and we're saying, whose is it? Whose is it? Do you know we mean that shit?
You ain't never lying. You ain't never lying. Yes, he's right. We mean that. We mean that. We mean that because if something was to happen and we have to defend your life, we understand that we are going to die first. We are going to put our lives on the line first. That's what we're supposed to do. And it has to be a hair trigger decision. Boom, just like that. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's
mean that. Men are territorial. We really mean that. So
I can see that.
I'm telling you, we really mean that. When we say whose is it, we mean that from a perspective of we want even you to start acting like it's ours.
I think women understand that.
Okay, now here's...
That's a lie. That's a lie. That is a lie. Women don't understand that. That's a lie. Because if you did, you wouldn't be doing some of the stuff that we're doing now. And I'm grateful that I have a good one. But some of the when I was single and in the situations I was in, no, that's not true. Because as soon as y'all start getting mad, y'all get upset, y'all say some of the hurtfulest shit I ever heard in my life. That's not true.
My point in bringing that up. I need you to try to put yourself in men's shoes and understand that if what I just said is true, then how do you think we feel about somebody who has been, it's been his, and it's been his, and it's been his. The proof to it is sitting over there on that couch eating some dry Captain Crunch cereal. And the other proof is outside riding his or her bike. We have proof that you have been other men's property. Here's the big thing that everybody's overlooking. Did you know that throughout a lifetime, women were supposed to only belong to one man unless he passed? Did you know that?
Bingo. Bingo. Yeah, it's... You know, when I said I was going to get married, I'm only getting married one time. And I'm going to fight for this, whatever. Whatever I got to do. One time, that's it. One time. And if this don't work, I'm never doing it again. I'm just not going to do it. Because the amount of time that I put into this relationship, the sacrifices, everything, I don't think it'll be a hard time for to see another to see if another woman deserves that. No. Nope.
You're not supposed to be being passed around like this.
That's ridiculous. I'm gonna be honest with you, like the ego of a man when it comes to dating is ridiculous. Now, will I say I understand the standards? Cool. But I think they're double standards. So
Yes.
I took that into perspective of women are single-handedly raising kids alone. You also just said women are undesirable, or our value depreciates when it comes to having kids out of wedlock and not being with that person. So that's my basis of saying that.
First, let's get this established first. Do you believe people's dating value decreases as they get older?
I do believe that.
Do you
I do.
believe the more weight that a woman puts on, the less desirable she becomes in the eyes of most men, and it makes it more difficult for her to get selected?
You see with your eyes.
Oh,
Yes,
okay,
I do.
okay. Do you agree that the more bodies a woman has, the more it brings her value down?
Everything you're asking me, I agree, and that's why my platform.
Okay, so
exists.
that means value can decrease, right?
Because
So
these
there
women
is a such thing as being undesirable. I'm going to put you in the hot seat for a second.
Okay.
If you had to guess right now, give me your definition of a man who meets the bar of the term a quality man. This is a quality man. Describe him to me a little bit. Somebody you'd want to be with.
Okay. I'm going to say he's respectful. He's consistent. He's not ego driven. He values family. His values and his morals are intact.
Okay, listen. I want to pivot really quick.
Mhm.
Now, I want to ask you, because we're going to get somewhere with this. What percentage out of 100 women in the black community would you say are considered quality? Somebody you would not mind your son bringing home to see mama. What percentage of the women in the African American community would you say are walking around here functioning as a quality woman?
I'm going to say this, and ladies watching, I'm going to say, and I'm pushing the stretch, 45%, 40 to 45%. And that's
So I want to show you something real quick. It's yours, so you're already familiar with it.
And don't make him ask you to help him build up the table. It needs to be already sturdy before you sit down.
Do you know that no other community is operating like that? None on the planet, on planet Earth, no other community. You know why? It's unsustainable. Turbulence, people. According to stats, we have the lowest quality of women with the highest standards. You won't go to the Cheesecake Factory. You won't date a man who doesn't make $100,000 a year, even though the majority of you, the people you have children by, didn't make that. And this is what's capping you guys. You guys must lower your standards. You guys are talking about don't build a man up. Every other community, that's what they do.
Yes, he said a lot, and man, I'm gonna tell you, this is why I always say, my person just came to cut my yard, and shouts out to him, but he came to cut my yard, and we were talking, and I was saying, when a woman when she thinks about raising her getting money, and she's raising her standards, she's thinking about herself. When a man is thinking about raising his standards and getting more money, he's thinking about his family. And I wanted to say this too. There's three type of men. There's three types of males, I'll say males. You got the child. And the child, right? The child is the one that he's gonna go around, he's having sex, he's doing him, you know what I'm saying? He doesn't really understand what's like the repercussions, or he really doesn't even care because he's not receiving those repercussions. Right? Then until he has a child, or he's with a woman with a child, he becomes an adult. and as far as relationship goes. And that adult, he understands that, you know what, I can't buy this, and I gotta make sure milk, and I gotta make sure the kids got diapers, and I make sure that, because now he's taking care of his small family. But when that person becomes a man, he starts to understand that he got to worry about his community, because his children is going to be in that community. His children are going to reap every mistake from that whole area or whatever, from in that culture. They're going to reap that. They're going to reap the mistakes of the generations before. So they don't. So when you become a man, and you start to see that, that's why you have a lot of these people starting to talk about are starting to bring this stuff up, because that's what our concern is more now, myself included. That's why a lot of men are starting to speak up, because this ain't gonna work. It's not gonna work. Now, a lot of people could say, oh, well, you know, you can take care of kids, this, that, and third. Yeah, you can too. If you're not taking care of your kids, man, you sorry. You have to raise your kids and take care of your kids. You have to. Because at the end of the day, like my friend used to tell me, them kids didn't ask to be here. And he used to beat that in my head every time. When we have arguments and I'm talking about stuff, about this, he's like, well, what about the kids? Because the kids didn't ask to be here. You know? It's quite sad where our generation is, because I know for a fact that our forefathers, our revolutionaries, our whoever fought in the civil rights movement, all this stuff, they would have never thought we ever got to this. They would have never thought that. They would have never thought that I would make the mistakes that I made myself. I know it. So when I say these things, I'm not just saying it to you. I said this to myself. These are some hard truths. You know what I'm saying? It's just unfortunate that we're here. But now that we're here, we have to fix it. And how do we fix it? By having these real conversations and understanding that whatever happened, and now we have to fix it. We have to bring those things that we are doing to light in our community so we can fix it. We can fix it. We have to talk about promiscuity. We have to talk about our culture and music. We have to talk about the examples we are putting out there for people. We have to talk about it, because I'm going to tell you something. The way that we're going right now, we're just in self-destruction mode. We're self-destructing. And whatever it is that we did have at one time, even when I was younger, in the 80s, 90s, and 2000s, you know, that's kind of my era right there. That I was born in 82, so like 87, 86. That was kind of the frame I started remembering kindergarten, first grade, and we still had neighborhoods. Now the neighborhoods are killing each other in the same neighborhood. You live down the street from the guy, they unaliving each other out here, man. These things have to be talked about. And unfortunately, one of the things that's going to have to happen is that men are going to, at some point, are going to go back to accepting kids out of wedlock and becoming the mentors of these kids. And that's where it's going to start there. And I think we never had a question of it, because I think men still date women with kids. I don't think that ever stopped. It might have slowed down a little bit because we brought things to the light, but I don't think that ever stopped. That didn't stop to the point where, it made it, it's not a significant difference. But we want you to understand that that's how we're looking at it. And it's a very big risk when a man is taking care of another child, especially a man taking care of a female, because you never know nowadays. Because if there was something that she said happened, nobody's gonna look into exactly what happened. They are automatically gonna say he did it. That is a very big risk. And I think that women got to understand that too. That's a very, 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 very big risk right now. Men are risking themselves when they take on other people's kids. And a lot of people don't discuss that. I haven't heard nobody discuss that, but it is a risk. It is a risk. Because if that child said something that happened, nobody's going to say, well, let's look at the facts. Automatically, he's going to jail. He's doing time. Not, hey, try to dig into the facts. And I get it. And I understand. But at the same time, what happened if that man is innocent? Then what? Now you just destroyed that man. All I'm saying is at the end of the day, understand that when you had that kid out of wedlock, there's certain things you might lose. And that's one of them. You might not get the pick of the litter right now. You're not. And as you get older, it's going to be harder to reclaim that. Get you a man that's going to be there for you. Don't just look at his wallet. He's way more important to your life than that. Because I'm going to tell you, to raise these kids, it takes 2 incomes. It takes 2 incomes. And if that guy is willing to step in the gap and help you out, you better take him. Better take him. Because I think men have been doing this for centuries. I don't think it ever stopped. It only became a problem when we were being mocked for doing it. And that's when it became a problem. So, shout out to the real Stacy Prince, man. Go to his channel. I'm gonna join his channel because he says a lot of things. I kind of watched him a few things, and I like what he's talking about. Shouts out to the female. At least she was there to stand in the gap for females to actually have a conversation, because this is a real hard conversation to have. And like, share, comment, subscribe, man. Give me those thumbs up, man. Give me that subscription, man. Give me them, say some comments down in the comments, because I'll be in there. I'm watching those comments. As soon as people reply, I reply back. I don't care what it was or how long ago it was from now on. I just reply back, because having these conversations is what's going to solve the problem. And we got to have some action too. Don't get me wrong, but we gotta start somewhere. Be on the lookout. Again, I got something cooking in the oven. I will be announcing that soon. I'm excited. I can't wait. I just don't want to say it yet, because I haven't got all the logistics down for it. But we're gonna do it big. I can't wait. I will be uploading that stuff, and we're gonna get it popping. So this is Carvo the Mentor. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep giving life's lessons. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and I'ma holla.